Hello, welcome to Bob's Dungeon. My name's Bob, I'll be your host. And recently, I've seen the trailer for the new Mandalorian and Grogu movie. And I'm not going to go into how I feel about it. I'm sure everybody has got an opinion about it. And mine is just not that important to add to the mix. But it got me thinking a lot more about Star Wars lately. And so I figured we'll take this opportunity to look at an old Star Wars book from the D6 West End Games version of Star Wars. A lot of people that I talk to, a lot of media that you see about Star Wars, it's all Jedi, 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 and it's not Star Wars unless there's Jedi. And I don't feel that way. There's a lot more to Star Wars than just the Jedi. So we're going to look at a book for your Star Wars role-playing game that does not focus on Jedi at all. We're going to look at the Galaxy Guide 11, Criminal Organizations. This book has 94 pages and a copyright of 1994. It was published by West End Games, and all of the artwork in this book is in black and white and is really decent. So let's go ahead and look at that artwork. This is the first picture we see when we open the book. All of the artwork in this book is in black and white. And it's pretty decent artwork as well, with some full-page artwork sprinkled throughout the book. And it sets a proper tone and mood for this book. And yet I can't help but think of my brothers when I see this picture in the book. To use this book, what you're going to want to use is a copy of this book, a copy of the core rule book for the D6 Star Wars role-playing game. You also want as many 6-sided dice as you can get your hands on. And we're not going to go over character creation because that's covered in the core rule book, and we've already discussed that. But this book, all the information in it takes place 6 years after Return of the Jedi, which is just after the Dark Empire series, which was a series of comic books, and they did make a supplement for it for the D6 Star Wars game. I don't have that one, but maybe one day. Anyway, this book has everything you'll want to have criminal organizations in your game. It has some stories here and there through the book to give you inspiration for your game, but it's got to look at different criminal organizations at the time period that this is set in. It gives you rundowns on different types of criminals and organizations that you run into: black marketeers, loan sharks, slavers, spice dealers, whatever. It's covered in here. And it's got named organizations too. It's even got lists of different villains from these organizations that you could throw into your game if you want. In the back, it's also got some equipment that you can add to your game that's specific for criminal organizations. New weapons, a starship, some vehicles, and some miscellaneous gear. It's got a rundown on strongholds and where you can find safe havens at. It's got a chapter in here devoted to the Hutt cartel. It goes through what happened after Jabba was killed, what kind of chaos that threw the Hutt Empire into, all the different parties fighting to take over his holdings. You know, it plays out a lot different than what Disney has portrayed. And it's pretty cool. It also just gives you information on Hutt names. And what I mean by that, Hutts have 3 parts to their names. Jabba the Hutt's full name is Jabba Del Jessic Terror. And it tells you how those fit together and what they mean, what each part means. And I mean, very few know that Hutts have more than just like Doles of the Hut, you know. They think that's the full name. But if you can learn more of a Hutt's name and use it as an honorific, yes, the Hutt will be honored. But he will also be extremely suspicious of you for how you learned that information, because you're not supposed to know it. What else do you know? And how quickly should he kill you off? That kind of thing. So, yeah, there's that. But this book gives you all the information you need to run criminal organizations in your game. It suggests that you don't let the players use this information for starting characters, but, you know, you're the game master. You decide what is what. And it is extremely useful for running a criminal group in your game. Which brings me to 3 questions. Would I run a character in a game that was using the stuff from this book? And absolutely. I love the stories that revolve around the criminal underworld. So yes, this would be something I'd be interested in. Would I run a game using the information in this book? Yes, I would, and yes, I have. And it's been a lot of fun. Would I recommend this book for your Star Wars role-playing game? And absolutely, I would recommend it. It's not an essential book if you're going to run a game revolving around criminal organizations, but it is extremely helpful in giving you ideas and stuff that you can throw at your characters, and giving you some pre-generated NPCs that you could have your characters come across. And that's pretty much all I got to say for the Galaxy Guide 11 Criminal Organizations right now. Thank you for joining me at a look at this book, and hopefully you'll join me next time, where we'll talk about something else. Bye.